go for walks and so on. We know it wasn't always like that here. For those few years in the 1920s and the 1930s, this was the busiest place in the Dale. All those concrete bases, which they look really unlikely if you come up here now out onto the moors. You think, what are they doing there? Well, they were the footings of shops and a cinema and a school and a church and a hospital and goodness knows what else. Jack says 2 hospitals, and I'm not going to contradict him. Thank you, Jack. And there was electric light, and there was flushing toilets, and there was a railway to get you down to town. A lot of folk in Paisley didn't have those sort of things in those days. But mainly, these bases around here, they're the remains of 2,000 people's homes. And for many years, you and your families and your neighbours have been coming here to remember them. How many people here have absolutely direct connections? Like you were born here, you worked here, you lived here. Put your hands up if you were the direct. There's quite a few still. Yeah. And the rest of you, presumably, you're all relatives, friends, neighbours, whatever. Well, what? Well, you all know, because your mum or your granddad or an old neighbour told you that despite all the mud cons and the grand sense of community, this wasn't an easy place to be. Bradford needed water for its mills, and thousands of people were moving into Bradford, and so these reservoirs were built. The workers, I looked it up, were paid £1 shilling an hour, which is 5p in our present money. They worked from dawn until dusk. Unless it was raining. You mean you go in when it was raining? Yeah. Some were on 2p an hour. Right. That's what I got off the web. Never believe anything you read online is the answer to that. Can you retrieve that for me, please? Right. As I said, it wasn't an easy life at all. So that's why Jack calls me so much bother now. Right. But seriously, one man was killed building the dam, others were injured. And there's a plaque just over there, which I'm sure you all know, the one put up by Jack Haynes and Jim Duncan. And the words on it say, "May we never forget the toil and hardships they endured to provide the benefits we now enjoy." And you haven't forgotten. We're here again today to say thank you for those people who made you what you are. And I know this is going to be the last time you're going to meet to formally remember them. And there's 2 thoughts I'd like to leave you with. In such a brief time, it was about 15 years this place existed. In such a brief time, those dam workers made an enormous difference to the lives of people miles away in Bradford. Their homes may be ruined, and almost all of them now rejoice with us on another shore. But their work lives on, and that gift of water to Bradford, I'm sure the people of Bradford still appreciate it. So my first thought is that we often feel that we're really very small people and we can't do very much to change the world on our brief time on earth. But actually, by doing things we're supposed to be doing, by doing them well and by acting for good, we can all of us make a lasting difference in our own place and time. The day thou gamest, Lord, is ended.
sweetheart. Now then, buddy lad, you alright? It was all wrong anyway, wasn't it?
Somebody rang him up and said he wouldn't come. And he said, so they went and got him and
This way. That's right. Well, that was this way. Yes, yeah.
Well, I think you'll have to give 3 cheers for being here, Pete. My friend here, I think you'll have to give 3 cheers for saying it was very pleasant. Now he's made it. Are you ready then? Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! There you are. I'm going round. We're
nearly down the toilet this morning.
Yeah, we're just saying we could have a